An 18-year-old Scottsbluff man charged in multiple felony cases has been sentenced to prison and could be facing more time later this year. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, an 18-year-old Scottsbluff man has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for pulling a gun during an altercation 1 year ago. Last February, Ray Camacho Jr. became involved in a fight with 3 females and pulled a handgun from his waistband and began pointing the weapon at them. Last week in district court, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison on each of his 3 convictions of terroristic threats, with all sentences to run consecutive to each other. He's still facing 13 felony charges from an August shooting in Scottsbluff, including attempted first-degree murder, in which another man suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Well, the Gering City Council was introduced to a new HR director last night, a former Californian with decades of experience in the field. Ann Palm greeted each council member personally before the meeting started, later saying she was so pleased to be in the post, she could not help going somewhat out of order. Palm came to Gering from California in 2020 to visit her brother for Thanksgiving and decided she was not going back.
I did grow up in southern Minnesota in a small town, so I'm used to the environment. Really am enjoying being back into a community that doesn't look like Los Angeles. And I also enjoy the fact that the travel to and from work is less than an hour to get.
Palm said her experience includes some 30 years of HR work, almost exclusively in the insurance industry. We'll have more news right after this.
The journey of a dream becoming reality. When we're young, a dream develops into a passion. That passion continues to manifest and grows as you do. It becomes all you want to do and all you want to be. It gives you direction. It drives you. Then, your dream has become a reality. When that dream is ready to be reality, Platte Valley Bank will be with you every step of the way.
Western CPAP Supply has earned an impeccable professional reputation within the Wyoming and Western Nebraska region. Helping you get a good night's sleep is our passion. Our amazing team understands sleep disorders from a personal and professional level. We use CPAPs and BiPAPs too, and sometimes it just helps to work with people who share common ground. Our accredited CPAP supply company is approved by Medicare and Medicaid and is in network with every major insurance company in the region. Western CPAP Supply. We're here to help.
Welcome back. The Friends of the Midwest Theater has been the operating entity of the Midwest Theater for over 20 years, and the theater's recent history and its future will be discussed at the annual meeting tomorrow evening. Executive Director Billy Estes encourages theater members, volunteers, patrons, and interested community members to attend the meeting and learn about the theater's activities.
Yeah, we have our annual meeting on Wednesday night. It's part of the process of our bylaws to hold a public meeting where the community can come in and get an update on what's been going on with the organization over the last year, as well as, the election of officers for the year.
Estes says free popcorn will be available for attendees to snack on, and that annual meeting starts at 6 p.m. Wednesday at the theater on Broadway. Well, the Nebraska Economic Forecasting Advisory Board has increased revenue projections for the current and next fiscal years. Total projected revenue receipts for the current year were raised to $5.72 billion, an increase of $370 million, with projected receipts for fiscal year 2022-2023 rising $405 million to a total of just under $6 billion. Increases were anticipated across all tax receipt categories, with individual income tax revenues expected to rise an additional $160 million and $200 million, respectively, in each fiscal year. The board made the adjustments during a meeting yesterday at the state capitol in Lincoln, with the next scheduled meeting scheduled for late October. And a judge has ruled that U.S. Representative Jeff Fortenberry's statements to federal authorities about an illegal 2016 campaign contribution can be used against him during his trial. The decision issued last week was a setback for the 9-term Nebraska Republican who was accused of lying to those agents about what he knew about the donation. Fortenberry was indicted in October after federal authorities alleged that he knowingly made false statements about a $30,000 donation that was funneled into his campaign from a Nigerian billionaire during a Los Angeles fundraiser. Fortenberry's lawyers have said that their client has cooperated and was telling the truth when he claimed not to know that the donation had come from a foreign donor in violation of federal law. Well, still to come, Bill Boyer with your weather and Shabella Guzman with your ag news. We'll have those stories and more right after this.
Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge. What is Hydrozen? It's total body relaxation. It's total body recharge. It's floating weightless on water. Floating your aches, pains, stresses, and worries away. Hydrozen is a revolutionary new therapy using Epsom salt saturated water as a way to relax and rejuvenate your body. And it's now available in Scotts Bluff. It is for most ages and has many benefits to the mind and body. Visit hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT.
My name is Angela and I'm with Langer Industrial Services. There's a huge technology part in metal, just with all the programs we use, running the scale and paying people all the software. He does 24/7 ransomware monitoring, making sure the programs run smoothly, making sure everything's running properly. So it's nice to have Jeremy there to call when things go wrong. He's always there right away. He's, within 30 minutes he shows up.
ERH Technology Solutions, we make technology work for you.
This chair is way too big. It's perfect for us. This one's tiny. That's 'cause it's mine. Hey, this chair is just right. This bed is way too hard. It's perfect for me. This bed is way too soft. Just what I needed. This bed is just right. So come on over to Leaf Heads.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.
The Nebraska On-Farm Research held its research meeting on February 17th in Alliance. The network is statewide and includes farm operators and agronomists working together on research projects. John Thomas, Nebraska Extension Cropping Systems educator, says most of his studies have been on dry edible beans.
A couple of studies on dry bean population and how that impacted yield and harvest loss and bean quality. And I also looked at dry bean varieties and how some of those varieties yielded and what the harvest loss was. I look at the direct harvest system quite a bit, where a combine just makes a single pass through the field, and as opposed to the traditional bean harvesting system of cutting, windrowing, and then combining.
The different bean varieties have different plant architecture, so not all are direct harvest ready. Thomas says they did find some bean varieties which performed well.
This past year we looked at Great Northerns. Great Northerns generally aren't as upright as the Pinto varieties, but some of the varieties, rose their head above others in their suitability for direct harvest. I think Virgo was our best variety this year for the Great Northerns in direct harvest.
Nebraska farmers conducted over 100 on-farm research studies in 2021, with growers taking on an active role in the on-farm research projects. To learn more about the network and how to participate, visit cropwatch.unl.edu/farm research.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
The Verizon family is full of frowns because they're spending too much for their unlimited data and phones, while the Viero family is all smiles because they're getting 4 lines of unlimited data with 2 free Apple iPhone SE for mom and dad and 2 free LG K31 smartphones for the kids, all for just $100 a month. They're saving so much, they're able to get Fido. Find out how you can too at Viero.com or your nearest Viero store. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
One of my big responsibilities is making Renz-A-Rand. I put all of my love into making Rand because it is the best by far. What are you doing if you don't get Rand?
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
And finally tonight, a Scottsbluff restaurant will be moving to a new location later this year. El Torito on 27th Street had submitted their redevelopment plan to the Scottsbluff City Council for final approval. Last week, Owners Javier and Martha Parra spoke to the council about the project, and Mayor Jeannie McCarrigan asked where they would be moving to.
And where will you be moving to?
It's Avenue I, and it's right next to Viero telephone company, and I think it'll be really nice move.
Under the redevelopment plan, El Torito will be eligible for TIF funding, as the new location will be in an area that's been deemed blighted and substandard and in need of redevelopment under the city's comprehensive plan. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.